This week on the Ocean Cruises podcast, we are speaking with Janaye and Jason from the YouTube sailing channel, Leading the Escapade. Janaye and Jason were both running their own businesses in Australia and saving for a house before they decided to start cruising. After they became inspired to live on a sailboat, they decided to move to Greece and start their boat search. They chose a Jeanneau Sun Odyssey 40, and after some upgrades and getting the boat cruiser ready, they took off with no sailing experience, learning along the way. They have so far sailed the waters of Greece, Albania, Turkey, Montenegro, and intend to explore the rest of the Mediterranean before crossing the Atlantic and heading over to the Caribbean. If you want to follow Janaye and Jason's journey, check out their YouTube channel, Leading the Escapade. You can support the podcast on Patreon and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, watch the interviews on YouTube, and download the audio on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Oh, have you got a little bit of salt on the top of that as well?
Yeah, of course. We'll have the salty
very
rim.
fancy. What is it, tequila?
Well, I just ran out of tequila, so round 2 is half tequila, half vodka, half triple sec.
Holy shit. Mate, you have intentions if you're drinking like that. Like, you have a plan. There's something that you want to do later. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those drinks.
Go to bed, yeah.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Our age. I want an early night, so I'm just going to mix everything in one glass. So,
Yeah.
idea. So whereabouts are you?
We're in Kotor, Montenegro at the moment.
Nice. What's
Yeah.
it like then?
The water's not as nice as Greece, but it's
Right.
I don't know. What do you think? It's lots of mountains and stuff, but it's not like that great for sailing. So
Yeah.
we've kind of been stuck in one spot, haven't we? Really?
It's nice and protected where we are. You do get like the borers that come through, but we haven't had one where we are at the moment.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, it's good for land travel. It's sick for land travel, but there's not like too much to see by boat.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
one
just you go, sorry.
Yeah, it's one of those places, like, unless you're cruising and you were looking for a way to get out of EU waters, you just never even think of going there.
Yeah, it's a bit of a random place. It's because we came up from Greece and then we're like, we want to go to Croatia for summer. So we'll just do Albania, Montenegro just for the sake of it, really. Hey, like,
Yeah.
just do a couple of
And-
weeks each and see how we go.
Yeah, and we heard good things about Albania, but we didn't
Yeah.
crazily enjoy it.
No, it wasn't that great, not gonna lie.
Oh no! What?
Yeah.
So how was it? Because I've got some mates who are heading there at the moment. Like, what did you think of it?
Some meals really nice, like, but it's kind of like a place where you go to like beach clubs. There's all beach clubs everywhere, like sun lounges, people on jet skis and shit like that. So it's not the
No
best
way.
for it's not the best for like on your boat because you just get wake all the time. You're getting disturbed all the time.
Yeah, they don't give a stuff about the sailors. So
Yeah.
you're getting like rolled around by the boats and that.
But yeah, everywhere
Right.
else is a bit, I don't know, like everywhere up the coast is exposed. So there's nowhere to get protected like anchorages and stuff. So
Right.
yeah, it just wasn't that. I
Yeah,
don't know.
no protection from like the northwest, which is basically the way it blows pretty much all the time now, in like the summertime anyway.
Yeah,
So-
we got stuffed. We
Right.
tried to go from a place called Vlora, which is maybe like halfway to Montenegro, and we tried 3 times to leave there. And
we got struck. Oh, we didn't get struck by lightning, but we got smashed by about 3 or 4 lightning storms. Like,
and had to turn
Right.
around.
Yeah,
they were
like-
pretty bad. So yeah, but there's like nowhere. So because we couldn't just hop into like somewhere a couple of hours away, we had to turn around and completely go back because it was the only like protected spot to go. So not
Yeah,
ideal,
that's
but
crap.
yeah.
Did you ever watch
So-
Flight of the Conchords, like back in the day?
No, I've heard of it though.
You might be too young. How old are you?
30, 31.
Maybe
I've heard
too
of it.
young. So it's like it was amazing, and it just referenced Albania. It's these 2 Kiwis that are morons, right? Lovely guys, but more. I mean, I don't need to defend them. Maybe they are morons. Who knows? But like the characters. So anyway, they go to New York, but it's like guys who like live in the sticks, and then they go into the city. And anyway, they end up writing a song about this little Albanian boy that gets burned by a racist dragon, and it's literally. That's the music. It's just
It's a
so
bit heavy.
strange. Yeah, it's heavy. But that's like the only thing I'd ever heard of Albania until people started talking about Brexit, and they were like, "Oh, we'll go to Albania." I was like, have they got racist dragons, or was that just a song out of a TV show? Might be some folklore or something. Do you know what I mean? There's like these racist dragons hidden in mountains or something.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit of a random spot. I think it's similar to Montenegro, where it's like good for going into the mountains and stuff, but the coastline's nothing to like rave about. But anyway, it's all right as a pass through.
Maybe we just had bad weather. Maybe that's what it was. But each to their own. But yeah, we found that there wasn't a lot of protected anchorages for
sailing,
like Greece. You know, when you sail Greece, there's just
islands everywhere.
Yeah. You're basically 360 protected from wind and swell.
You just have to go to the other side of the island.
Yeah.
To get there.
Yeah, but you know, that's the beauty about Greece, because there's so many islands. It's like if the wind is coming one way, just, you know, turn the motor on, go around to the other side of the island and you're sorted.
Yeah, exactly.
You've literally started in the best place and it doesn't get better.
Do you reckon though? Because as much as there's heaps of places to go, it's like hectic for the wind. Like we were like 2 weeks into sailing and we were already experiencing like 40 knots. Like it was just crazy.
Yeah, like you can get a few wind systems that are pretty strong, but I mean, you can sail through those. It's fine. Just pick a day when the waves aren't too big, like when the swell isn't too much.
Yeah,
but,
Meltemi got us a little bit.
Oh yeah,
in the cycle age
last year, like when we first started. Yeah. And we were so inexperienced that we'd be like sailing with full sails up, like no idea, and then just getting thrown sideways, like.
Just like, this is horrible. What's going on?
Yeah, pretty much.
No,
what are we doing?
We might have had 2 reefs in the main, and then
bullshit. We did not.
You didn't know what reefs were at that point.
Yeah, no. I remember our it was like our 3rd day of sailing, and a thunderstorm came through, and I freaked out. Like I started crying. I was like, "What are we going to do? We have no idea how to even sail through a storm." Blah blah blah. And then I'm like on Google, just freaking out, like Googling what you should do sailing in a storm. And then Jason's like, well, we don't even know how to put a reef in. So we're just going to have to I think it's just safer to sail with a full sail than try and figure out a reef like now. So yeah, we were just stupid at the time.
We made it. We survived.
We were fine because it didn't turn into anything. But
I mean, it's good. It's a good way to learn. I don't know if it's a good way to learn, but it's a way to learn, you know. Yeah.
Tuck yourself in the deep end.
Yeah, but loads of people do that. There's so many people, like Aussies, that, you know, they hop onto Greece. I remember watching a La Vagabond from like years ago, and I think the guy, Riley, I'm sure he just turned up in Greece and got a boat, not knowing what much to do with it.
Yeah, that's pretty much
an Australian thing.
Yeah,
probably.
Do you know why? Because everyone watches La Vagabond. Like we watch La Vagabond. That's kind of the whole reason we've done this, and we love them. I know some people don't feel so much the same, but we love them. And it's probably the reason why we just kind of rocked up pretty much in Greece. All we did was our
ICC.
Yeah, like your day skipper course. That's all we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So. Because you have to have it, like you have to have it in Greece, but that's the only reason. And we actually were about to come over without even doing it, and then we started Googling like a few weeks, like maybe 2 months before we were leaving. Hey, and then all of a sudden we're like, oh shit, we actually need some kind of license, so we've got to go book this course.
We thought you could go to Greece and just buy a sailboat and be sweet as, here you go, we're on.
Yeah.
No, some countries just, well, you know, the UK, you don't need a license, you don't need insurance, you don't need nothing.
Oh, really?
They've just kept it like pirate style. But like when we moved over to Spain, that was when I got my first like cruising boat, you know, like with bedrooms and all that, cabins, all that type of stuff. And I bought it and I was just out sailing, and then one day some guy just came up to me. It was just like, "Oh right, you've got a British flag on it. What license have you got?" I was like, "You don't need a license." Like,
don't have
you do
one.
need a license. So I was like, "Oh right, okay." So I had to go do this LYA course. I've been on the water my entire life, and I had to go learn how to sail.
Wow! Did you get fined?
No, I didn't get fined. I mean, I might now. This is going on the internet, so maybe I will now.
I'm chase you.
Yeah. They do enjoy it.
You're that
but
guy.
yeah, I didn't know that till after I'd already done it. So yeah, you did better than me. At least you googled it before you got the boat.
Wow. Yeah.
But we only started last year. You probably started a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, in the UK, you don't need. I mean, you probably should, to be honest, because like you do get motorboaters who are a bit different minded. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's a nice way to put it.
Nice
so yeah,
maybe
maybe you should do a license. What? So you need the day skipper for Greece.
Yeah, so at least Greece, you need an ICC. So you've got to get your at least a day skipper, which is actually through England, believe it or not. RYA day skipper, and then you can join RYA and they give you a free ICC.
The ICC, yeah,
so we
that's
did
right.
that. Yeah. So
yeah. But you know, they're not doing that anymore. Or maybe they're not doing it for British people. But I got an email off them like, I think it was just after Brexit or close to it. And they were like, we're not doing the ICC thing anymore. I don't know why. There's a lot of issues that they haven't sorted out yet with this Brexit thing.
Yeah, 100%. It would be because of Brexit, don't you reckon?
Yeah, cruisers just hate it. Like if ever you say the word Brexit to like a British cruiser, they hate. Yeah, you'll know. You would have met plenty of them.
I feel sorry for you guys. That would suck. We're used to it because we've always had to do it. Although it's never really affected. Like if we've done a Euro summer, you usually only go for like 6 weeks to 2 months at most. So it's never really affected us. But now sailing, we're like, oh, this is shit. Like it makes life so.
Language.
It's
no, don't worry about it. It's fine.
It's fine when you're like in Greece because you've got so many countries either side. But then when we get over to like Spain, Portugal, France, Italy, we're stuffed basically. So
so Italy, you guys can get 6 months.
Yeah, so we knew about that, but we're talking to friends the other day, like an older couple that had tried to use it, and they basically were like, "No, it's not a thing."
Are they Australian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really? It's not a thing anymore.
I think you can.
It was like an Australian-Italian thing.
This was like 2018. They said it happened, and then they had to get a lawyer for the situation
because they were going to like impound their boat off them because they overstayed. They're going to have to pay like this massive fine.
I think they just got stuffed over, to be honest. I think they were like sweet, but
I know an Australian family that literally just left after like the whole winter and they've just gone to Greece.
Okay.
I'll hook you up with them. Actually, it's a really nice family.
Cool.
But they just like put the kids in school and stuff for the winter in. I don't know where it was in Italy. It might have been in one of the islands. But maybe something like that.
Yeah,
one of the islands.
Yeah.
That's a big like liveaboard community there in Sicily.
Yeah, we're thinking of wintering there as well. But we're thinking we'll go home for like 3 months. So then we're kind of out of that Schengen zone for 3 months anyway. So we'll just use it like that. But we were going to do the bilateral agreement and then now we've decided to go home. We're like, we might as well just not worry about it and just do it normally. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Do you know why that would be so good? Like if you could ditch your boat there for winter, and then like turn back up in March, something like that. If you've got 6 months, you could like do all the Italian islands in 6 months, and you're not rushing. Do you know what I mean? Like Sardinia, Corsica. They're stunning. Like
have you done them all?
I've been there, not on a sailboat, but I spent time there. When I was younger.
Nice.
But like if you had 6 months, you could smash all those out, and then you could head to like Tunisia for a few months to check out or something like that.
Yeah, we're thinking that Tunisia or Morocco, they're kind of your two choices. So maybe we could. That's actually a good idea. We'll see if we can get it. We'll have to give it a go and just see what happens. Maybe we'll try and get some inside info on where we can go and they'll accept it or something. So
do you know, it's one of those things, like I speak to a number of people about Italy, and I think it's the same across Europe. It might be the same everywhere in the world, but it's like, they'll check in somewhere and it's like they will get a completely different set of rules off one guy than they will literally the guy who takes over the shift like 4 hours later.
Yep. It's crazy. Hey, same as Greece, I'm pretty sure. Like, it's very varied. You never know what you're really going to get. Sometimes they're really nice and chill. Montenegro was so easy to check in,
so
and
chill.
the place we went, I think, but we were so tired because we'd done that overnight passage that I was telling you about. It was just a bloody nightmare. Like, I just wanted it to end.
Why was it so bad?
Tired.
What was going on with it?
Well, we left
just
it like
winds the entire way.
Yeah, so we left. We'd never done an overnight passage. We obviously tried those few times and it failed. We turned back around, and then we left at like 4:30 in the morning. And all day we're beating into the wind, like 30 degrees, 20 knots.
20 to 30 knots on 30 degrees tight, so just constantly tacking.
It's fine for the day.
It's like swell as well.
Yeah, we probably had like 1.5 meter swell, so it wasn't big.
Not that bad.
No.
It was just going up winds, like, and it stops your boat. Like, you don't get any momentum.
Yeah.
It's so crap.
Oh, yeah, we weren't getting over 5 knots. We'll probably go on 5.5 knots the whole way.
It's not like the worst conditions we've been in, but to be in it for like 24 hours gets tiring kind of thing.
And then we had a beautiful sunset and a full moon come out, and then like next minute, like 5 minutes later when the sun went down, lightning just started striking.
And we're like, oh, everywhere. Not again.
And then we're just like, you're bloody kidding. Like, this is a joke. So then we end up sailing to Italy to try and escape this storm.
Towards Italy.
And there was two cells coming through.
So funny. We just went to Italy to evade a storm.
Another country.
Yeah, well, literally, we're closer to Italy than we were in Montenegro.
Right.
Yeah, and then, crazy.
And then, we waited out there for like 4 or 5 hours, and then it was coming towards us, and we're just like, fuck, what do we do?
And I was so over it already, and the fact that then I knew we'd already added on like another 4 to 5 hours, I was done. I was so tired. I couldn't stay awake. I don't know how people do it, honestly.
That, like, boats have masts that attract
lightning. Yeah.
Because it's so nice sailing when there's lightning, because it's just like, you just get these moments where you can see everything around you, but then you're like, shit, this might blow up my boat. And
exactly.
then you get terrified.
Yeah, I'm the only one out here kind of thing. So Jason didn't even understand what it could really do. And I don't think I really fully understood.
I was oblivious to it. Yeah. I was just like, fuck, stuff it. Let's just go through it. It's just a lightning
storm, whatever. And we were buddy boating with friends. And then they were like, it can blow a hole in your boat.
Or just stuff all your electric stuff.
Yeah. All we thought was maybe it'll turn it'll stuff your electronics, whatever. And then I think once you learnt that it could blow a hole in your boat, you were like terrified.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit.
No, it's serious.
Okay. Yeah. So then he was really trying to avoid it. So
we avoid him now. But at the end of that sail, we're just like, stuff it. Let's just go into it. It's like it slowly started settling down, the strikes.
Yeah.
And then we just sailed straight to Montenegro, which was exactly where the lightning storm was.
Yeah, but we were fine. And we had to dock the boat at like this massive customs dock where it's like where super yachts come in. So it's really high. They have those big black barrier things. No one was there to help us. And we're like not so good at docking. We're okay, but trying to do our own lines and stuff like that's a bit of a nightmare. Anyway, we managed to do that. And then we're like, oh, okay, let's see how this goes. And they were so lovely. They were just super chill.
It's so nice, isn't it? Do you know, like when you get like what do they call them here? Like capineros or capinaros or whatever. You know, the guys who are at the port and they throw a line. Like when you get one that's nice, it's like just restores your faith in humanity. Do you know what I mean? Like, customs officer that's a nice guy. Wow.
I know, it's rare. It's rare.
Yeah,
because they're like when we checked out of Corfu to go to Albania, like
bad.
She was so rude, and Jason couldn't even come inside with me. He was outside vaping, and then when it's like I'm going out for a vape.
Can't deal with it. He's out.
Yeah. And then he saw her come up to me, so he's like, "Oh, I'll come in." And then she's like, "Excuse me, we don't need both of you in here. You go outside now." I'm like, Jesus Christ, calm down.
She was another one.
And she was just rough. at me the entire time. Like, I was ready to...
I think, do you know the thing? It's like, I suppose it's anybody. Like, you can get some people, and if you give them a position of power, it just goes right to their head.
Yeah.
And even, like, some security guards, they think they're the FBI all of a sudden, do you know, because they might have a badge or they might have something like that.
Yeah.
I remember when I went into Houston airport once, And to be honest, I was a bit naive because, like in the UK, the customs people at the airports are really super friendly. I actually just had an issue with my wife. This is, I won't say stupid because it makes it sound like it's stupid on her part. But if it was me, I'd call myself stupid. You know what I mean? So, right, listen. So she got the visa to get to the UK. She's from Syria. For some reason, they put like the start date on the visa like a week. No, like 2 weeks after they actually gave her the visa, which is just weird. Like you never usually get that. So when we got to the UK, the guy was just like, "Oh, I just want to tell you, madam, you know, your visa isn't actually valid." And she was like, "What are you talking about? I just got it." She was like, "No, it's actually not activated. Yeah, it's not." So they shouldn't have let her on the plane, whatever. But yeah, they were like, "Okay, you know, we'll take care of this. Just hang fire." And he went back, and then they were just like, "Listen, you've got a perfectly legitimate reason to be here. You have family in this country. We'll let you in, no problem. And we'll just keep your passport and we'll give it you back when you leave." And I was like, I was so proud. I just looked at it, I was like, this is the United Kingdom right here. Do you know what I mean? That was amazing. So sometimes they're nice. But yeah, so I was in Houston this one time. And basically I flew to Houston with like a bunch of Saudis. So I got to the customs thing and I had all these Saudis stood behind me. And the guy was like, "So what are you doing coming to Houston?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm just on business." He was like, "Well, tell me about the business." I was like, "Trust me, you don't want to know." And then he was just like, "Trust me, I do want to know. Come with me." I was like, "Oh no, mate, I was joking. Like they're my mates." Like, and he was like, "No, let's go." I was like, "Oh shit." So they took me in a room for like an hour. They were going through my passport. They were like, "What were you doing here? What were you doing here?" I was like, "Guys, I'm just here to work." And they were like, "No, we need to." I was like, "Oh my God." So I get it, but it's a bit over the top sometimes.
I feel like Australia can be like that as well. They're not like corrupt by any means, but they're super like they take their job seriously and they're so serious about everything. What is that noise?
I was tapping a.
Can you hear that fireworks going off?
Those are fireworks.
I was wondering what it was. I'm like, our boat isn't sinking, is it?
What is it? Is it like National Montenegro?
No,
they have it like every day.
Every night they've got fireworks going, pretty much. Yeah.
Well,
I don't know if people just let it off on the beach or
just for shits and giggles. To wake us up when we're sleeping.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, that's nice. That'd actually be quite cool. Popping up in Anchorage, you just got free fireworks every night.
Yeah. It doesn't
nice
go for long.
When you're outside, having a beer or something, and then fireworks go off.
And then Jason's like, "Oh, babe, I did that for you." I'm like, "No, you didn't."
No, you didn't. I found out on the internet we came here, and that's the part.
Not even that far.
Maybe. Yeah.
I wouldn't do that for you.
But we have heard Jason's mum's actually English, and she's always says how nice the cops are in England, like around London and stuff. They don't really have like guns and stuff, do they? They just
they have a stick for naughty people. So if you're really naughty, they hit you with a stick. No, I think some of the if you go to an airport, they have like full automatic machine guns. But yeah, a normal police officer, you'll just get whacked with a stick.
It's a bit naughty, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, you have to be a very rude English person to get hit with a stick. But yeah, you don't really get that. Oh, but it's so embarrassing sometimes. Like you see videos online of like, some maniac with like a machete who's running around the city or whatever, and it takes like 20 police officers to bring him down because all they've got is a stick.
Yeah.
So it's like they've got a stick and like pepper spray. Or if they're well armed, they have a taser. Right? Yeah,
that's about it.
It's great. Honestly, sometimes you see videos, you're like, "Oh my God, just give them a gun for heaven's sake."
I'm going to Google this. I'll YouTube this after.
Oh no, seriously. So have a look, right? Right, if you just do any random Google on that, like British police officers like trying to take down whoever with a baton. It's not a stick, it's a baton. There's a technical name, a baton, as maybe the French would say.
It sounds better when you say stick.
Yeah, it is. It's like a lightsaber type. You whip it out and it extends. Yeah. It's one of those.
I think Aussie cops have it as well, but they usually all have guns too, don't they?
Yeah.
Which is surprising for Australia.
This will be my night's entertainment, just UK police using their baton to
bring someone
Ward off the
down.
criminal.
That's
Someone
sick.
came with a machete.
I did a podcast with a couple. It was about 2 weeks ago. I just released it last week, called Christina and John.
Oh yeah,
Can't
is
remember.
that Christina's Travels?
Yes, yeah.
I saw that on your Instagram.
They're really nice. They're like really nice couple. And I can't remember where in Australia they're from. But anyway, we were talking about like Australian like immigration and all that type of stuff. And then it was so funny because there was this thing where Johnny Depp like brought this dog or a couple of dogs or whatever into Australia. Did you see that? And they made him do like this hostage video.
Yep.
Yeah, they take it so seriously.
So him and Amber Heard brought you would remember a couple of years ago, they brought their two little like tiny like pug chihuahua dogs on their private plane. Yeah. On their private plane.
Oh yeah,
and didn't claim them.
Oh no.
And then they got on like a whole heap of shit because Australia is so strict with stuff like that. So yeah, it's a bit wild.
Yeah, they had to like put them on a private jet and send them back and stuff, which is it's good in a way.
It is, yeah, it is good in some ways because I guess we don't have like the diseases that some countries have, but it sucks at the same time. If you're the one with a pet, it sucks. Like that's why we don't have a pet.
Oh yeah, because you just put the thing on Instagram. You just collected a cat. I've been doing this for years, and I have too many now. If you want another one, let me know.
Oh, I would love one. I've like fallen in love with this kitten, but
we don't have a cat. We didn't rescue it. Our friends on
another boat rescued it.
Liquid for Life did.
But they have a dog on board who's still like 9 months old, and she's
rescue
crazy.
Dog.
So yeah, they were like, "Can you look after it for the night? We'll take it to the bed in the morning." And then just from like one night of looking after it, I'm like, "I want to keep it. It's not fair."
Kittens are so cute.
So cute, and she's only about 4 or 5 weeks old, so she's really tiny, and sick as well. She's got like the kind of like a cat flu, like all the snotty nose, and she's sneezing, and her eyes are all funny, and so they took her to the vet today, and yesterday, and we babysat her again today. So it's hard, but I had a little Google, and it's like near impossible. Like I don't know what Sailing Sunday are going to do if they have to take their dog back. It's going to be a bloody nightmare.
I think they put the pets before their home country, to be honest. I think they just won't go back. They've saved the lives of like so many animals.
They've done nice so well.
Yeah, we've been watching them, and it's amazing what they do. So it's really nice.
I was talking probably a few months ago. I was talking to Ryan, and they're like planning their cruising around like which islands they think have the most dogs or cats that they can help and stuff.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's Samaritans for pets. It's so nice.
Yeah, it's hard to see though. Like I just find it really hard to. And I'm the type, like we raise money to help them around Europe or wherever we go as well. But I find it hard to like foster them, because if I do what they're doing where they look after it for a few weeks, I get too attached, and I'm like, I just have to keep it. Even from one night, I was like, I don't want to, give this thing up. Yeah. So yeah, it is hard. They do so well being able to do it and then give them up, kind of thing.
If you can find homes for them, it's okay. Like where we lived previously, we had like a park behind us, and people just used to dump animals in the park like all the time. It was Dubai, so they're not very they don't really have animal rights or anything like that. So we used to go for a jog every night, and it'd be like, there's a new kitten, and if it was fluffy, you have to keep it. So like we'd take the kittens. And then, like, I came home once, and my wife was like, "Oh, I've got another," and I was like, "Oh, I think she's got another kitten." She had like a bunny rabbit. She was like, "Oh, I've got this bunny rabbit." It was like hopping around the living room.
That's so cool.
But they just killed them there. Yeah, we've got 5. We've got one that we need to rehab. It sounds as bad as it is, I'll be honest. I was going to say it sounds a lot worse than it is, but it's not. We've got too many cats. But we've got one that we're going to try and like find a nice owner for before we leave, because we just know that like he's not going to be suited for a boat. We think he's got like mental issues, like he'll be fine, and then all of a sudden he'll just walk up to a pillow and just put his head on it like that and stay there. So I don't know if he's really fed up or if he's got a mental problem.
Oh,
Very
my
nice cat.
We had
Maybe
a cat. I had a cat that used to do that, and it kind of like nudged things. Like he just wanted like a pat all the time. Love
No,
it.
I think he's got problems. It's always good,
Probably.
mate.
Yeah,
It's always
good straight.
Yeah.
You're an animal. Bloody hell.
You've got a bottle there. Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still on this one though. So
Haven't got any pineapple juice.
Yeah. It goes good with pineapple.
yeah, it's unreal.
I was
Right,
actually
mate.
no, I'm going to give it a try. We've actually got some in the fridge. Like we never really have fruit juices because we avoid like sugar and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
We just substitute it for raw liquor.
Yeah.
I'm not really healthy, just my sister was just here, so we had like a range of fruit juices. So I was drinking pineapple juice today. So I'm going to mix that with a bit of pineapple juice. I'll give you the feedback.
Good.
Yeah, give it a whirl.
It's nice. Same
Yeah.
as it's good in a pina colada, spice rum.
Oh man, I can't drink pina colada. Do you know when you do a holiday when you're like 20 and you've just got the drink that you do that entire holiday? And
Yeah,
then
you've had too many.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like I cannot drink pina colada. I really can't do tequila. I can't do cider. There's a number of drinks that if I
Yeah.
just smell it, I will vomit. And
Yeah.
pina
Really?
colada is one of them,
All
unfortunately.
I've done today
That's
is
wild.
cider and margaritas.
Oh man,
Yeah, you'd be in
I'd
trouble.
vomit being in your anchorage. I swear, I'd be like, look at what those people are doing over there.
There you go. I've got 2 drinks. I'm double parked. This is
What is it?
blueberry Summersby cider and a margarita.
Well, you better drink
Blueberry
one.
cider. Oh,
Yeah.
they do all flavors of cider now. I could probably
Yeah.
get away with that actually.
It's a bit, I don't know why it's pink, but it's decent. It's all right with ice, but cider does bloat you though. Makes
Yeah.
you a bit, It's not the
I had
best.
a terrible first experience. Actually, so cider was the first drink that I had to stop drinking, and I think it was when I was like 13. So I'd drunk a lot before. No, because you start drinking really young in England. You know, it's just like culture.
Yeah,
you know, like
you do in
go.
Australia.
You're allowed to, aren't you? Like if your parents like permit you to, you're sweet to go.
No,
No?
I think that's France. They're super
Oh, yeah, okay.
open-minded with stuff.
Yeah.
Oh no, so
Yeah.
France, you can drink beer and wine. I think from age 14.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
Or it
wow.
might be
wild.
16 now, but I'm sure it was 14 before. Because I remember going on
Wow.
holiday there when I was like 14. And all these 14-year-olds were like in the pub, like begging my drinks. I was like, what's going on? That's weird.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I got drunk like loads before, but it was the first time I got drunk at home. And it's the first time I got so drunk that I like aggressively vomited.
Yeah.
And my parents went out to a Lionel Richie concert. So me and my mate Chris, we were both like 6 foot something when we were like 13. We were like, let's go to the newsagents and get like a massive bottle of cider. Costs like £2.
The
It's
newsagent.
horrible. Yeah, that's like corner shop. You call it the newsagents because they sell the
Oh,
newspaper.
yeah.
So they're an agent for the news.
Pretty
Actually,
much
it's
like
an
everywhere
expression.
in Europe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an
Yeah.
expression that I don't think really is used anymore.
Oh no, we know what a
it's-
newsagent is, but you don't buy alcohol at newsagent in Australia.
Oh, really?
No,
No,
you only buy. So in Queensland, where we're from, you can only buy it in a bottle shop. You can't even buy it at the supermarket. And then I think New South
Oh.
Wales down, you can buy it in like Aldi or Aldi, however you guys say it, which is kind
Yeah.
of like little. You can
So
buy
you have
it.
to get alcohol from an alcohol shop.
You have to
Yeah.
go to a bottle shop. That's it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's
In
heaps of those
Australia,
around.
like, I bet there is, yeah. But like, I
We've
was
got
about to say,
giant
that's
ones.
like pretty restricting for Australians. How do you get by with that?
Oh yeah, Australia is so strict.
There's probably more
like-
bottle shops than there are food shops, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like if you think about it.
Dunno. Who knows?
There's one around every corner.
But why did they do that? Is it like regulated?
Yeah,
It
most
must
likely,
be, yeah. I don't know, because New South Wales and like Victoria and stuff, I think you can buy it in some supermarkets. So
Right.
they obviously check your ID there, but I think it's just, I don't know. It's just always been that way. You can only get it at a bottle shop.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they're super strict.
When I lived in Dubai, you get a like a swipe card, and this is a crazy system. You can literally get drunker the richer you are, and the poorer you are, the less drunk you're allowed to get. Listen to this. So you get a card from the government, which is based on your salary. So if you have a salary of like 10,000 dirhams, which is like $3,000, you can buy like $300 worth of alcohol that month. But if you have a salary that's like $100,000, you can get like $10,000 worth of alcohol that month. So it's purely an elitist like system over there, right? So you can go in and you swipe your card, and then they tell you how much alcohol you're allowed to buy for the rest of the month, which is crap, because alcoholics tend to be people in really sticky situations that generally have less money. So it's like the only thing that is going to make them happy. They're not even allowed to have purely based on the salary. Is so crap. You can still go in bars and stuff, but yeah, for buying booze, it's like so regulated.
Wow, that's insane. Actually, we were talking to friends that we had on the boat recently, and he's a cop in WA, and they have like rules over there with like basically white Australians and Aboriginals, and they wouldn't allow
rules.
Yeah, because
Whoa.
obviously there's more of an Aboriginal community over there. What did they do? They changed it where like basically they couldn't buy more than like a carton.
Yeah, I think
no one could buy more than a carton a day or something like that.
I think that was running like for 2 years, about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's running anymore, but yeah, they weren't allowed to buy more than a carton a day.
Everyone though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was everyone.
Yeah.
So they were just trying to stop everyone from drinking.
I don't know.
No, I think the Aboriginals weren't allowed. I'm not sure 100%, but yeah.
Yeah, it was to regulate whatever they were doing, basically. So yeah, pretty wild.
You know, these people don't understand that if you tell someone you can't do something, they want to do it more.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's true. Like they should, Australia should just go massive on booze. Like as a nation, they should just force it down people's throats, and then maybe they would calm down.
Yeah,
that's obviously the way to do it.
It's so expensive too. It's like insanely expensive for alcohol.
They've taxed everything in Australia.
Cigarettes and alcohol are just insanely expensive. Which I agree.
How much is it for like a pack of cigarettes now in Australia?
$50 Australian for a normal size packet of
like
cigarettes.
20 or 25?
Not even, no word of a lie.
So what would that be? Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah. No word of a lie. So that would be what?
You have to be rich to smoke.
25, 30 pounds.
Yeah, they're just trying to get everyone to quit, I think.
Yeah. Which is, I don't mind. I think it's a good thing with the cigarettes, but the alcohol's a little bit, come on.
Do you know what I think is like a bit hypocritical? So in Spain, it's like €5 for a pack of cigs. Still, it's super, super cheap here.
Yeah.
Like if you look, if you want to stop people from doing something because you know it's a bad thing to do, maybe don't make loads of money out of them doing it. Do you know what I mean? Like they make so much money out of taxing people on smoking and drinking alcohol. Like it's really bad. You shouldn't do it, but we're going to get rich if you do it. You know, it really doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's crazy. It's like maybe they should take a moral stance and just take all the tax off and be like, we want nothing to do with this disgusting thing. But instead they're like, no, we're going to make loads of money off this disgusting thing. Whereabouts in Australia are you guys from?
We're from Queensland, Gold Coast.
Oh, nice. Right. Okay. So you were brought up on the water then, I imagine.
Yeah.
What was that?
Right near the beach. So it's like an hour from Brisbane.
Nice.
Down along like massive, it's like probably 50 kilometers of beach, do you think?
Yeah.
Lots of beach.
There's a lot of beach.
Yeah.
Have you been to Australia before?
No, I was actually going to move there and my mum wouldn't let me.
Why?
Very nice.
No, it wasn't at all. No, so the company I was with, they said they want to send me to the Perth office because they're opening up an office in Perth. Yeah, and I didn't know anything about Australia. I had a girlfriend when I was like 7 who was from Australia, and she was really nice. That's pretty much all I knew about it. She was lovely. Her name was Charlotte. She was a sweetheart. I didn't know anything about it. Based on that. But yeah, then I remember I went home and I said to my mum, I was like, I'm going to go to Australia. She was like, no chance. I was like, what? I'm 20. And she was like, no, it's too far. I was like, okay, fine. So I then ended up moving to the Middle East instead because that was like a 6-hour flight.
Wow.
But I always wanted to move there. Yeah, a bit closer, than like the full-on day it takes.
Yeah.
But I always wanted to move there. I was talking to the other Australian couple that was Christina and John, that my original sailing plan was to start in Australia. from when I was 16.
Wow.
So yeah, we're just going to move there and get like a little sail. It would have been I'm glad I didn't do it because it's terrible. Like we were so stupid. But yeah, we were going to move there and buy like a crappy little sailboat and just like work in strawberry fields and stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah, that would have been
well,
awesome.
it wouldn't have been. Maybe, yeah. We aren't looking back like young and stupid, but yeah, we wouldn't have set us off for life. Like
No.
absolutely. So what made you like? Because you were both running independent businesses. You were both self-employed and stuff. So like you gave up a lot to start doing this.
Yeah, I'd been doing hairdressing like since I was at school, and I had my own business since I was like 21, so quite early. It kind of just all happened, like fell into my lap kind of thing. But yeah, I kind of always wanted to go overseas and do the whole like couple of years overseas, but it never really happened. And then I kind of wanted to change anyway, career-wise. So I was kind of happy to give it up, to be honest. And then you?
Yeah, I only started my business
like a year or two before.
Yeah. So it wasn't really much to give up.
He was doing super well though, like really, really well. He would have been like, you were thriving in business.
Yeah.
But
what was it? What type of industry was that?
I was a tradie, so I worked in construction.
Yeah.
But I worked with glass, so I did like shower screens and pool fences, balustrading, like all that kind of stuff, which was good.
Does that.
What was that? Sorry.
My dad, he does that. It's the same thing.
Oh, really?
Cool.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah, like glass balustrading, stainless steel tubing, and all
Yeah.
Very
Very
expensive these days.
Oh, that's stupid. Yeah.
Trades do so well in Australia. It's like you earn more money being a tradie than you do being like a businessman. Like
same in the UK.
Yeah. So it's it's definitely better to be doing something like that. So yeah, but we just, I don't know, like you started the business after we'd already decided that we wanted to do.
We had the idea in our head already that we wanted to do this, and then that was kind of a way to like kind of boost it, I guess.
Yeah.
To fast track it.
We were just saving like crazy, living at Jason's mum's house for like 2.5, 3 years, just saving. And we actually moved in there to save for a house first, and then once we decided we wanted to buy a boat and do the whole sailing thing, and we actually we knew we wanted to go overseas and start the adventure. And it probably took us like a good 3 to 6 months to tell our parents, especially Jason's mum.
Super interesting conversation. Like you've moved in with your parents, they're supporting you to get a house. Oh, our kids are getting the property, and then you say, "Oh, actually, we're going to go to Greece and live on a boat."
Basically, we were crapping. Like we were paying a little bit of board, but she was like obviously helping us out a lot. And so we were like crapping ourselves to tell her. So, and I kept nagging Jason to tell his mum. I'm like, hurry up and tell her. And then like a whole month would go by and he still hadn't told her.
And then she was sweet as daisies.
She was fine about it. She was like,
yeah, no worries, go do it.
Yeah, because she moved from England, so she backpacked Australia when she was in her early 20s and ended up just never coming home. So she stayed in Australia. And so she was kind of like, I get it. I did the same thing. You've got to go out and do what you want. So yeah, she was fine with it, wasn't she? Yeah. My mum, not so much. My mum was like devastated. Like she made me feel guilty until the minute I left.
Because you were leaving Australia, or because I was
leaving. Yeah, just because I was leaving. So yeah, it was a bit of a hard one, but she's fine now. But
still misses you.
Yeah, so that was hard, but
have they been able to come over and stuff because of COVID? Like, because your Australia has been really serious.
Oh,
with
they've
the
been
travel,
stupid. Yeah, so we had to get an exemption to leave, which we kind of like did the dodgy. Like we said, I'd started like years ago. I kind of tried to start like a swimwear business, and I was sampling bikinis and stuff in Bali.
Well, we might get sent home back if you.
Nah, who cares now? We're over here. I was getting bikinis sampled and stuff, and I was starting another business because I wasn't really 100% happy doing the hairdressing. So I was trying to get something else started, and so when we applied for the exemption, you needed like a valid reason to be moving overseas. So business was a really good one. So basically we said, yeah, we're moving to Bali to get this business started. We need to be there to oversee the sampling and do photographs. And my partner's coming over to do the photography and all this crap. So we had to prove how much savings we had, that we were leaving our jobs, that we were finishing our businesses, that we're selling all of our stuff. Like we had to show so much stuff to get the exemption. Like
that is ridiculous.
Pretty much like fake flights that we're going overseas, all of this stuff. So
fake flights.
So we basically said that we were going to Bali. We ended up getting approved to go overseas, but on the exemption, it didn't say where you were going. It just said you've got an exemption to leave the country. So anyway, we went to the airport, and I wasn't worried. Jason was slightly worried that we'd get in trouble. And then as soon as we got to the airport, I was like, oh crap. Like, are they going to go, well, you said you were going to Bali. Why are you getting on a flight to Greece?
Yeah. And then they like,
they get on the phone. Yeah. So they check your tickets, and then they get on the phone to check that you've got the exemption. And so we had to go over to another counter, and the two ladies that were there were like niggling on about some other person that did something dodgy, and he couldn't get on the flight and all this stuff. So all of a sudden I'm like, boom, 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 shitting myself. And then, it was fine. We got on the plane and it was all good. So didn't have any issues. But yeah, Australia was insane, like ridiculous. No one could leave the country for 2 years. Like,
But they're all sweet now. I'm pretty sure they can leave now if they're vaccinated.
You can leave now, but you can't get back into the country unless you're vaccinated and boosted.
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah, so you need the two. Yeah. And the booster, right?
And the booster.
That's nuts. That's like so... I get people coming in because it's like, oh, you might have COVID or whatever, but not letting people leave.
Yeah.
Go elsewhere. Or like you have to justify the reason why you want to leave the country. Like,
ridiculous. Yeah, so stupid. So it should have just been like okay, if you want to come back, this is got to be the reasoning, blah, blah, blah. So
yeah, people were prisoners in Australia for like 2 years. They weren't allowed to leave.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
But yeah, we were one of the lucky ones. But we haven't had any friends or family yet. So everyone's starting to do like Euro trips and stuff now. So we've got friends in a week coming from Australia to Croatia. So we've got to like gap it up to Split in Croatia soon in a couple of days. But our parents haven't come yet. So don't know if that's going to happen.
Weird. Well, I only saw my parents for the first time in 2.5 years, like last week.
Really?
And we had my son is like 3 years and 2 months now. So they saw my son when he was basically newborn. He was like a few months old, and then they hadn't seen him since.
Wow.
But
even from like England.
Yeah, but they're like a bit older, and like they didn't want to travel. And it's like, because
they're worried.
I've been places like we sailed over to the Caribbean and stuff, and I've done a few other passages, but I didn't want to go to the UK without my wife in case I got COVID when I was there, and then I got stuck and I couldn't come back. Because then, like, who knows? Do you know what I mean? Like, you could be stuck there for a month. Like, maybe you get COVID and then you keep on getting COVID. I don't know.
If not longer.
Maybe,
yeah,
like there's new COVIDs now, and there's monkeypox as well, apparently.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah. Me and my wife were talking about it last night, and she hasn't heard of it. Bless her. I mean, she doesn't read the news. Fair enough. Do you know what I mean? Why would you? Do you know what I mean? It's all shit.
Yeah.
It's all garbage. But yeah, so we were outside, and she was like, Bill Gates is talking about a new pandemic. I was like, oh, right, reassuring. And then she was like,
here we go.
What's this next one? I was like, oh, it's monkeypox. And she's like, oh my God, is that like chickenpox, but for monkeys? I was like, presume
basically,
so,
yeah.
We've got like 50 cases where we live, which is a lot, I think. I think that's quite a lot.
Wow.
I don't know anything about it. I've heard of it.
Hopefully it won't kick off. Like, back in the day when there'd be, what was it, like bird flu and stuff, and it would just never really go anywhere but Asia. Like, you didn't have to worry about
it. Ebola. Like, Ebola was very limited to Africa.
Yeah, exactly.
there was massive freakouts over Ebola. I remember like when that was kicking off in Africa, like if you were traveling like through any of the Middle Eastern countries in Africa, like they were really serious about, you need to be careful. They didn't put like masks or anything like that in place, but I remember like it was when internet memes first started really taking off, and like the internet was just full of Ebola memes. Quite insensitive, really. I think it was a pretty serious thing. But
I know no one else took it serious because we didn't have to deal with it. Everyone just made jokes about it.
Well, it was just there was a couple of people in the UK. I don't know if they died, but I think I'm not going to start talking about this. I don't know. There could have been hundreds, but I don't think it was that serious anyway. I don't think it really kicked off.
Yeah,
we've actually been watching you doing the crossing with See the Little Things on YouTube.
Yeah, we have.
Oh yeah, that was in January. Yeah. That was, we set up. Oh man, that crossing took ages because of COVID, right? So we went down the year before from what was it to Cadiz to Canaries.
Canaries,
yeah, and that was that was a really good sail. That was just like 5 days downwind, shoot straight there, and then we were going to hop over to the Caribbean. But yeah, then the Ark went over.
Just hop over.
Mate, it's easy. It's downwind sailing. Do you know, like you were saying before, you did your first overnight sail and you're beating into it. Just wait for a downwind one, and you can literally just go to sleep in your cockpit. Just set your alarm every 15 minutes. Check you're not going to hit anything. Just pass back out. It's so easy.
He did
it gets boring when you do it for like 30 days.
He did that in the end. Because...
Not when you're catching as much fish as you guys did, though.
Oh man, it was crazy.
I know.
The best was we had we got these like little fake squid or fake fish.
I saw that.
You made them, didn't you?
Yeah,
I made them. So we ran out, and the guys were like, "Oh shit! Like we're not going to catch any more fish." I was like, "Fuck this! We're going to catch more fish." I can make one of these. And so I made one out of like baby toys. And, it worked. We caught loads of fish with it. So
that's unreal.
That's so
good. I should promote this more because these companies are trying to charge like $20 for these little fake fish.
You should start making them. Just make them out of random things in your house and sell them.
I should put them on Etsy, like artsy crafty type of fake laws.
Yeah. You can say it's proven too. Like have photos of it.
No, they're boutique one-off fishing lures or whatever.
We could. I could do that. That could be a business on Etsy. Actually, you've got to diversify your portfolio a bit when it comes to making money.
Using recycled materials.
Get all the hashtags in there and stuff. No, we caught some really big ones with that. Actually, we caught one that must have been huge because I think that took the first like fake one that we did. But you know when you get a bite and you pull in and you're like, oh, it's going to be a big one. I got a bite on this and it just went and it just came straight off and we're like, okay, glad we didn't pull that thing in.
Yeah. Or you didn't tie the line right.
One of the two. I'm not an expert. Well, I used to do fishing when I was younger, but I used to go fly fishing with my dad. So I know enough about gutting a fish and catching it and bringing it in and all that. Yeah, basics. But if I was thinking, I'm like, because I was holding the confidence up because those guys are very scared about bringing a fish on and cutting it because they've never done it before and you would be. It's a live animal. It's jumping around. Whatever. Yeah. So you can get a bit intimidated by it. So I was like, trying to be super confident. I was like, no, I've got this. I was like, shit, if this is like a 10-foot tuna, I've not got this. You know what I mean? I'm going to be terrified. But I think we just got like an average mahi and they're so delicious. Such good fish for cooking.
Oh, that's awesome. No, we're pretty average at fishing too, to be honest.
Well, I don't really like fish that much, so it doesn't really help.
It depends on the fish.
Yeah.
It's like comparing meat to chicken or turkey. Like there's so many different varieties it tastes.
Yeah, I like fish that doesn't taste like fish at all.
What's mahi like? Is mahi like a...
Pretty much, yeah.
What does mahi taste like?
Oh, mate, it's the nicest fish I've ever tasted, I swear. It's super soft. It's got a very mild, salty flavour. And that's it. Like, and if you fry it with lemon and garlic, you're basically just having something of decent consistency that tastes of lemon and garlic.
Yeah, really right. Nice. Okay.
Yeah, you can catch them in the Med.
Really?
Yeah, we had mates on literally just next door to us. They caught a mahi. They reeled it right into the boat, and then they didn't have a gaff or anything to bring it in. So then they try to grab it by hands and it just shook off. So they missed
slippery
it.
things.
But they caught a big tuna 2 weeks ago.
A couple of weeks ago,
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
But there's not much here. Like, it's
Yeah.
so overfished.
Yeah, not big fish. Yeah,
No.
yeah,
It's
It's
hard.
what you said. Yeah, very much overfished. Yeah, for sure.
But spearfishing, we've been catching a bit lately,
Still not big though.
but not big fish. No, just we had a
I
mate.
can't wait to get into spearfishing.
Yeah,
Have you not done it? You haven't
awesome.
done it yet?
No,
Ah.
never. I've scuba diving, snorkeling a lot, but
Yeah.
free diving and spearfishing, something I've never got into. What's your breath hold like?
Oh,
He's only new to it as well. So
I'm pretty average.
he bought his first spear gun in like October in Turkey. So you've
Right.
only been doing it since then, haven't you? But then there was obviously the whole winter period where you weren't doing it.
Nah,
so
not
it's only
at
been
all.
a few months. But he uses an app on your phone. What's it called?
Yeah.
Stamina, it's called.
Yeah,
And
for the breath, the oxygen deprivation and CO2 something. Yeah.
You're trying to like do the CO2 training and something else, and you kind of push through that stage where your brain kind of tells you, I need to breathe now. Yeah, which is awesome. But I still can't hold my breath for too long.
It's different. It's completely different when you're underwater to when you're sitting here holding your breath.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, it's so last spring I downloaded one of these apps. There's this really cool free diver called like Adam something, Aussie guy.
Oh,
and
yeah,
he's like
I
one
know
of the
him.
world's so he's like a world champion of whatever, I don't know, but he's something like that. And he does a lot of videos of his, free diving in these caves and stuff. He's a really cool dude. And he said, get this specific app. So I got it. And I I could not spend more than a minute underwater at depth because when I was getting to 5 meters, I felt like my head was going to explode, because of the pressure. And I just couldn't equalize. It just wouldn't work.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like it is. I'm so bad. Like I freak out as soon as I go down. I'm back up.
I can probably only do a couple of minutes at maybe 10 meters and then I've got to come back up.
That's good.
But it's not good compared to
some people we know.
Our mates. Like they'll go like 4 or 5 minutes at 15 to even 20 meters. But one's like a pro. He's got like the world record for one of the biggest fish in the world.
Spearfishing.
Spearfishing, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And the guys that we're sailing with, he's an animal too. They're just really good at it. But it's good to learn off those guys, especially when you're kind of new at it.
Yeah.
Especially in a harsh environment. So when eventually we get to the Bahamas, it should hopefully be a bit easier.
Yeah, it should be really easy.
Yeah.
It's just so crazy. I remember because I like to put the spearfishing ones on. They put the GoPro on the head, and then you basically just living through them when they're spearfishing.
Yeah.
Like this one guy, I can't remember. I can't remember who it is, but it's just somebody who puts spearfishing videos on YouTube. He's going down there and he's swimming around, and I'm just watching, and I'm just like, wow, this is such a nice experience. I'm like, hang on, how long's this big guy been down here? And I reversed it back, and he'd been down for like 6 minutes.
Yeah. Wow. Has he got a tank on or?
It's crazy. Yeah. It must be 10 meters in just 6 minutes. Just like having a lovely leisurely time.
Yeah.
It's crazy how long they can hold the breath for down there.
It doesn't appeal to me. Like I love scuba diving. I like to breathe while I'm underwater. It's relaxing.
Yeah.
You just move around. I can't deal with the whole holding your breath. Your head feels like it's going to blow up. I hope that I can like it one day. I'd love to go and do one of those courses where they teach you how to do it all.
Yeah.
But
when you get your mind on something else, like if you're spearfishing, you really don't think about your breath as much. Yeah. So it's only when you start getting like really low on oxygen, like when you start going that kind of, then you're like, oh shit, okay, I got to go up.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because you're kind of distracted by it. And
100%.
It's the brain telling you that you need to breathe that's actually the problem. It's not the fact that you don't need to breathe.
Yeah.
It's just your brain confusing you into it. Yeah, it's something I can't wait to get into. I looked in when I was in St. Martin. I was like, I'm going to do a course while I'm here because the water was like very beautiful. It was like $400 for like a day's course on how to free dive. I was like, dude, I'm just going to YouTube it. There's no way I'm paying that.
Yeah, that's why we haven't done it either, because I saw a course they were doing around the Great Barrier Reef in Australia, but I think it went for like a couple of days where you stayed on the boat, and it was like 1,500 Aussie dollars to do it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm like,
crazy.
I'd love to do it, but yeah, we don't have the money for that.
So my mates called Jade and Bryn, they've got a YouTube channel called Chasing Currents, and like
Yep.
they came through Spain, so we spent a load of time with them, like awesome people.
I've heard of them. Yeah.
Yeah, so he does loads of free diving. Like he's a marine biologist and he studies
cool.
like whales and sharks and stuff.
That's
He's
awesome.
brilliant, but he is mega good at free diving.
Yeah.
They just put some videos today, I think, on it. But they're going to be around your area because I'm sure they're on the way to Montenegro, like in a few weeks.
Yeah, I
Are
think.
they coming from Croatia or Italy?
Oh, it's something. They're
around
in
Greece,
Italy
aren't
now. No, they're in
Yeah.
Italy now. They just arrived in Sardinia, but they're on their way to you.
Oh, right.
In a few weeks because of the rules, the 90-day thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, definitely send them a message because if you want to get a bit into free diving, like he's the boss of it. But he was telling me like there's specific techniques, you know, for equalizing basically, so your head doesn't feel like it's going to explode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like he was talking me through it, and I think I was really drunk, so I can't remember. But there's definitely a system that you need to follow.
Yeah,
This was like
okay.
at 4 a.m. in my cockpit, like
Yeah,
coming up and all that. Yeah, then we got
Yeah.
up to the topic. But yeah, if you want to learn a bit, like he offered to take me out. He was like, "Oh, I'll take you out and teach you how to do it and stuff." But I haven't had the time.
It's funny you mentioned that because I'm pretty sure I saw today on Facebook or I think both Instagram and Facebook, some other sailors had linked up with them on like they've done like a chat, like a group chat. I'm pretty sure it's with Chasing Currents.
Yeah, he sent me a message to go into it earlier on today. It was actually funny. So he sent me a message. He was like, "Oh, do you want to join this chat?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." So he put me in it. Like literally like 3 hours later, they were like, "Right, there's too many people now, so we're going to end the chat and we're going to do like a Facebook group instead." I was
Really?
like, it was great while it lasted.
We'll have to maybe join the Facebook group. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll send them a message and ask. Like, there's just loads of really nice cruises in there.
Yeah,
that would be sick to catch up with them if they're into that
kind
of stuff.
A whole group of them. Like someone we know follow Intrepid Bear. They're a YouTube channel. They're still a little bit smaller. I think they joined it, and we saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, because they were talking. They're really nice. They were talking about their like cruise through the Mediterranean because they went straight the way through.
Yeah,
and that's hard. Like they said their little story. I was like, yeah, I know, because they put it on some Facebook groups, I think, or something. But I remember reading it. I was like, that's actually really cool because that is a very difficult sea to cross. It's not like the Atlantic where you just got the wind blowing you one way, or you know, even when you do the Northern Atlantic route, you probably have like a few different systems. Like that's literally like wind changes every 5 minutes. You know, as you're going all the way across. That's hard.
Yeah. They went from the UK to all the way to Montenegro, I think. They went through Gibraltar and all of that section. So, and they didn't stop. They did like, I think they stopped, but they never went on land for like a whole month or something like that.
That's it. 28 days, they said.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, it's well, the thing is, it's like you'll do the Atlantic and it's 30 days. You know, well, you know, it depends what size of boat you're in and whatever. Like Pacific, 30 days, no problem. But it's like when you're on a boat for 30 days and you're just sailing past countries constantly. Like that's a different mindset.
Yeah, because you just want to get off.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, oh, there's Spain, there's Italy, there's Portugal, and you can't get off at any of them. That would really annoy me. Way more than doing like a 30-day passage on the open ocean.
I'd just get off. I'd be like, I'll just risk it today. I'm over it.
Especially if you've had like a really bad passage.
Yeah.
And you just like, oh.
I just want to be on land. I'm over it. Yeah.
Well, you know, like I've spoke to so many British people who've been cruising the Med for like the last 2 years since Brexit. Nobody gives a shit about these rules, honestly.
No.
Like nobody's been pulled up. I've got friends who've literally been in marinas for like 6 months over the winter, never been asked a question.
Yeah.
And like I've said to people, I was like, well, what do you do? It's just like, who's going anchor your boat? I'm like, yeah, but do you check in? It was like, no, that's the point. Don't check in. But does anything not happen? They were like, no. I swear. But no. I mean, obviously, some people want to respect the rules. You guys put everything on the internet, so you might have to respect the rules.
Or we just don't tell everyone.
You could be just like, we're in Montenegro. I swear it's not Greece. Could be lying right now. Who knows? But,
we're actually in Italy.
Yeah, well, so like I don't know, but they need to change all these rules. It's really, especially for guys like you. Like, like, honestly, how much harm is it going to do if you spend an extra 2 weeks in Greece?
I always say, like,
Oh, that's €1,000 fine.
I've been saying lately, I don't understand why they don't do like, okay, yeah, you can stay 3 months, it's free because you don't pay a visa or whatever. And if you want to stay another 3 months, you pay however much money. We'd be happy to pay money to be able to stay longer, but it's just impossible. Like,
yeah,
I just don't understand why they don't. Okay, if you want to stay 6 months, you got to pay $200 or something, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just
I mean,
no
they
option.
should make exceptions. I think for people coming in caravans or like mobile homes, they should make exceptions.
Yeah, sure.
And then also for people in sailboats, because it's like there's no harm being done. So I tell you what, let's just talk about like your boat buying process a bit, because you arrived in Greece and like you didn't know much about sailing boats, but you picked a real good one, to be honest. I mean, you got like a strong seaworthy boat.
You reckon? Some
I
people
think
would
so,
say the
yeah.
opposite, don't you reckon?
Really?
Well, because it's a
No.
production boat. Some people are like,
Production,
oh, I
yeah.
wouldn't cross an ocean in that.
But they do say
No.
like this year they're really well built.
The year that we
Like,
bought. Yeah.
So I guess what they build now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So the one that you've got, because I'm the boat that I should have it in a couple of weeks. I'm going to Greece to get it.
Yeah,
that's like built the same way yours is built. The newer ones are much more.
Plastic.
I mean, they're not necessarily. Yeah. It's just a bit more of like an IKEA. Yeah, exactly. Like it does look like a pre-packed saloon, whereas like these look more like boats.
Yeah.
So you've just bought one, have you?
Well, they're hoping.
Not bought it yet. I've got a survey. That
I
should
awesome.
Get back. Like, what are we on? I should get the survey yesterday.
Oh,
so,
it's always a way.
Maybe. Maybe like in a few days I'll get it.
Oh well, fingers crossed. It's all right. What are you hoping for? What kind of boat is it?
So it's a Jeanneau. So it's the
nice.
54 DS. So it's
like
the
that's
same.
A nice boat.
Yeah, it's a nice one. Yeah, it's because we like want to do not charters as in, you know, like picking people up off the dock and taking them out for a day, but we want to do like liveaboard weeks.
Yeah.
So my wife's really good at cooking. I'm good at teaching. I've always like trained people in my jobs, and I've always loved that side of my jobs. So yeah, we want to train people on like how to sail, how to like live aboard, and then how to like buy a boat as well, and all that type of process and stuff. Different ways in which you can make money. So we want to do that for like 10 weeks out of the year. And we wanted to start it in Greece, but like setting up a charter business in Greece is a nightmare, eh? Like, so much red tape.
Yeah. I think it's like they're like frowned upon it, don't they?
Yeah, and then you guys said it took you like ages to like register the boats as well. Is that because you were changing it over or something?
Yeah. It actually didn't take that long in the end.
Yeah, it only took 3 weeks. But if the boat was registered in Greece, supposedly it can take anywhere up to 3 months
to change it,
depending on like if it's their holidays or what's going on. So if you buy a boat in June, July,
and it's their summer holidays.
Yeah, you might not get the boat till like November. It's crazy. But yeah, we were lucky. The boat was registered in England. And fortunately for us, it was COVID time, so they couldn't get back to the boat. So I feel like we got a pretty good deal on this boat. And
he was looking for like months online while we're in Australia at boats and how much they cost, so we could get like an idea of how much we could get for what we could get for our money, what kind of boats we would prefer. We actually was saving with the plan or the hope to get a catamaran, but then we got to a point where we're like, okay, they've gone crazy, they've gone up in price, we're not going to be able to afford one.
Oh, they went nuts, didn't they?
We were sad too.
I don't know if they're still going nuts or
it's still nuts.
It is.
You know, the thing is, it's like, what is the biggest way you can have a boat with like the most
like a house?
Comfort?
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah. I mean, they are great. Like if that's what if you want loads of space, that's fantastic. But it doesn't
more
sail
so what
like
it
a
is.
boat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not so much
I think that's
sailing
a lot
wise,
into
but I
it.
think
Exactly.
it's more just the fact I like the fact that they're above, like the living space is above the water. Like you can walk straight in, it's right there. You can kind of
Yeah, that's nice.
while you're moving about, you can still be looking ahead of you. And
Oh, we went on this nice boat yesterday, Beneteau Sense.
so a monohull.
Oh,
It's
one
a
of the new
monohull.
ones.
And it's
Yeah.
above, like the living space is still,
Above
you only
the
go
water.
down like
Yeah.
half the amount of steps.
It'd
so
be
you're kinda
similar to
still
yours,
above.
the 54 DS. That would be kind of similar because you got the windows that are higher up, but
it's
you
got
can
like
see
a
through it.
big. Yeah, if you were like 7 foot, you could. Otherwise, no. So
Yeah, true. They're quite,
it's very light downstairs, which is nice. Like,
Yeah.
actually, you know, if you were stood on like the companionway steps, you could see through the front. Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, not like on a catamaran at all. That is
Yeah.
actually a really nice part about the catamaran. You can chill out on a sofa in the
Yeah.
saloon, and you can just look at where you're sailing. That is very nice.
Yeah. And the trampolines at the front. I love that whole thing as well. But yeah, we're super happy with our boat. Like we love her. We love her.
Yeah,
but,
you did well, yeah.
Yeah, we did quite well with it. So we're happy. So we've got a Jeanneau Sun Odyssey 40. So obviously once you get the boat, you always want bigger than what you've got. Like you get used to it and then you're like, okay, I wish I had a bed that was square now. That'd be nice.
That is a big one, isn't it?
Yeah.
We looked at a
or not having a
46.
bed that you have to do a somersault to actually lie down
in. Knock your partner in the head on the way out every morning.
Yeah.
Well, you get used to it though. Like the more you do it, like I'm so used to my little like spot on the bed now.
And we have like the mattress that has like it's split in the middle. It's two single little mattresses, like a V berth.
Yeah.
And so we know where the line in the middle is. So you'll be like, get the fuck off my side. Like your leg's on my side. And then you'll roll over. And because you've got like the shelves on the side, we used to, like when we first got on, we'd knock our knees and stuff like all night. You know, you'd whack your knee and wake up out of bed and, oh my God, that killed. And then now you just kind of know to just roll over and keep your legs tucked in. You just get used to it. But yeah, it would be nice to have, like, for sure, I'd love to have like a 45 foot.
Or a 54 DS if you want to try.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
You know, it's like it's a relatively new thing as well. Like, even if you look at a lot of older boats that are bigger, they don't have like walk around like forward cabins. A lot of them have still got like the triangle, and then they've just got like more cabins elsewhere or like further forward or something like that. But yeah, like I just sold my boat like a few weeks back to like an English family, and I actually preferred being in the forward cabin because like you can open the hatch and then you just get all the wind like literally on your face at night on anchor, which is just lovely. Because there was like an aft cabin and it was just a sauna like on anchor. It was just horrible.
But you need a mosquito net there, otherwise you get just chewed away.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I suppose it depends where you are. Like how bad is it in like in Montenegro and stuff for
ridiculous
mosquitoes?
Like every night we have mozzies, even though we try and shut it before it gets like to dusk kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we've got like a mozzie net for our main hatch in our bedroom, but still like somehow we get one or two or three in there. And
there's a lot of trees and stuff in the anchorages and all that.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I feel like even in Greece we were getting it. Like it's just been all this year, we've just had mozzies all the time, haven't we?
And it's murky water too. It's not like super crystal clear water.
I feel like we've had a lot of flat, calm weather, and because you know, like when it's windy, you don't deal with them. They don't come in. It's when it's calm. So we haven't had too much windy weather yet.
Not here. No.
Yeah, so it's been fine. So, but that sucks because it's the time where you want a little bit of breeze, you know. So
yeah, that's the word. Like honestly, mosquitoes can just all go to hell.
I know.
I was having a conversation with my sister. It's like we've got like a little bit foresty in outside, but we've got a pool, so the mosquitoes are just constantly like right outside the back garden.
Yeah,
like, I'll go for a cig outside and I'll have like 5 mosquito bites.
Oh, it's the worst.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I was talking to my sister about it because we're having this conversation about bumblebees and how amazing bumblebees are. And right, here's another one for YouTube. Just like go on YouTube and just go like cute bumblebees. They're adorable.
They
There's
are
people
cute
have
when you see the
pets.
fluffy ones.
Yeah, and you can pet them.
Yeah.
And people have like
way.
yeah,
We
for real.
did it.
And then
We
there's
pet
people
them.
have
I know,
like
but I was scared
relationships
doing
with the bumblebees.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're amazing. And I was just like, how is it that a bumblebee can be so incredible and a mosquito can be such a horrible shit? Like, what
Yeah.
are they for other than bat food? I
Yeah.
have no idea.
No.
I say the same. I'm like, they do nothing for the world. They're the one thing I do not feel guilty killing. Like, I just hate the things. Like, they literally do no good for the world.
So they're only bat food, are they?
Or bird food, either or.
Yeah, bat and bird food. Yeah,
Yeah.
I presume. We've got bats in our garden as well. And it's like when we first moved in, my wife was like terrified of bats. And I love Batman. So I'm like, nah, I just want to stand here and soak up the bat love. You know what I mean? I literally was. I was stood in the back garden. There's bats flying everywhere. I was like, oh, I'm getting stronger. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I feel the energy. But I was like, no, you shouldn't love it because they're just eating all the mosquitoes. So they're good to have around.
For sure. Yeah, they're just, I don't know if they're worse this year. Like, maybe we had more rain over winter or something. I don't know, but they're definitely worse this year than last year in the Med, for sure.
It could be because you do get years where you get like way more insects. I remember we went on holiday to France when I was like, I don't know, 6 or 7, something like that. And they had like a massive ladybug problem at the time.
Cute.
You know, like they're really like cute.
Them.
But when there's like 1,000 of them and it looks like a Stephen King movie in your face. Like, honestly, it was terrible. Like if you have a look at some photos or videos of like some of the ladybug problems in France.
Wow.
I can't remember the year, but there was like we were staying at the caravan site. And if you opened the door to get in the caravan and you closed it, you'd have hundreds.
Oh,
like,
shit.
That's nuts.
It was crazy. It was like
sounds like
a horror movie.
That sounds like the mosquitoes here.
Yeah. Not fun
There's
cleaning
no
that
for
up.
them.
I hate when you bloody squish them and then you're like this morning I squish one. I'm like, motherfucker, in the room, squish one. And then I'm like, oh, yuck, it had blood. It must have been eating us last night. And then you have that weird thought. You're like, did that come in this morning and that's been on someone else's boat and someone else's blood?
Yeah, but either way, you took out a killer. That's what you did. You did a great thing for the world. You took out a murderous, blood-sucking villain. It doesn't matter whose blood it was. It's easier to think about if it was your. I love that. Like if I wake up because you hear him in your ear, do you know like you're sleeping?
Oh
yeah, I hate that.
And you're like, you fuck, and then you're awake. Immediately you're awake. How can you sleep? And then if you get it and it's like blood, you're like, ha, didn't last long. Exactly. Yeah, it's very rewarding feeling when you squash one that's got blood in it. Yeah. So listen, guys, thank you very much for your time. It's been a pleasure.
No worries.
No worries, man.
Yeah.
I hope we talked enough about sailing.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about sailing.
Did we? No, I don't know if we did or not, but it was entertaining either way. I think I'll probably bump into you next year because we'll be starting off our season next year in Greece. So providing you're in the area, maybe we can have a few old spiced on the water somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds unreal.
We'll bring the pineapple juice, hey? The spice.
We'll make yours the party boat, though.